capable they are. They did drop the series against NIP, but
I mean, they demolished LGD in their group stage to secure first.
yeah, and we see how good LGD looks right now.
Yeah. This is definitely a team that has just been getting better and better as the season has gone on. And there are certain similarities. We, in fact, backstage, we were talking about the impact of the 5 positions in some of these games. We were talking about how good X-Nova was in that last series. DY has had similar performances for Vici Gaming. And we've got the same kind of playmaking cores. Of course, Paparazi's been doing so much.
Matsu said he would spam it for me. He'd figure it out.
We're to start off with Liquid actually running an aggro lane here. And we're going to have Doom up here in the top lane, potentially in the one-on-one against Brewmaster. Should Vici Gaming look to switch up their lanes?
30 seconds.
Potentially.
I mean, you don't want to... The Monkey King cannot afford a bad laning phase, right?
Yeah, I think Monkey King, very rarely do you ever want to see them just get wrecked in the laning phase. He's kind of like Viper / Razor in that sense.
Yeah.
Where these heroes absolutely rely on having a very stable laning phase to go with. I'm trying to see what the games look like, similar to what we did last game. I think I prefer Vici's lineup, because I think it is a very good Dusa game. Like, it's hard for them to burst her down. There are ways to kite her, but I think there's enough lockdown on the side of Vici with the Brewmaster, with the Disruptor, with the Shaman to follow up. Because I think there's 2 ways to play Dusa lineups. It's either you lock enough targets down for her, like you surround her with teamfight, or you surround her with heroes that also can't get killed. Similar to what PSG LGD did in the previous series when they played Dusa. But this is the other way around it, is like have a ton of lockdown to just help her out. As KuroKy's going to TP to top lane.
They are going to switch up the lanes. They really want to make sure they have this range troll into the melee Monkey King. And we'll see if Vici Gaming are going to do another round of musical lanes, and it looks like they might be. Monkey King is already beginning to back up, sensing that if there's no core in lane, they've got to be moving around. And he brings the courier to himself to turn into a courier so he can have that extra bit of movement speed. He can run to bottom lane that much faster. That's a cool little play.
I like that a lot. But the problem for him is that the Brew's not moving. So even if...
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's like...
This
Yang
seems like
TP out? Like, that doesn't seem like...
If Yang TP's out, then things are kind of like null.
Well, then at that point, like, if he TP's out, they swap again, and they actually liquid TPs, then Paparazi can TP and Yang can just swap and run across the map. Like,
this is so weird.
They're always leaving like one support that's actually pretty good at farming, right? You want the Shadow Shaman to be able to stay in the lane.
They're actually just going to go for the straight up swap. And that's why I was really confused. I think Yang was just making sure that he got the maximum amount, because if he goes top, he probably isn't getting a lot anyways.
And there's no harm in giving a Shadow Shaman a good lane.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's just getting solo. He can get an early level 2, level 3.
If you had, like, Doom Shaman, I think you could contest this lane versus the Monkey King. Because Monkey King isn't infallible against all melees. Like, we often see, who is it? Keen Gaming do Tidehunter plus Shaman or Tidehunter Lion, and they'll skill up Gush level 1, for example, and just get real aggressive early on.
But here, you've got an Earthshaker, very passive support. Now, Blitz, you did say you liked Vici Gaming, and I think you outlined pretty well
I think it's like
how Vici Gaming wins.
Yeah.
So how does Liquid overcome that?
Liquid needs to take early team fights.
Okay.
I think it's very similar. Like, in these top teams, what ends up happening in the draft, like, what ends up happening is you'll say to yourself, oh, they've actually outdrafted us in this way. So you'll adjust accordingly. So for Liquid, I think they'll see, when it comes to the ultra late, they probably don't want to play this game. There's just a ton of disable and ways for Monkey and Dusa to get out their damage. Plus, I think Brew is like the ultimate crowd control team fighting offlaner.
Yeah.
Doom does counter him in a way, but like there's so many targets that he'll have to Doom, I think, in this game to feel comfortable. That's another way to deal with Doom, is just give him multiple targets as Yang getting gone on, but should be just fine as he backs himself out as Fade gonna cop some hits.
And
But I
that
do
one-to-one is like, you can always just play around it, right?
Yeah, you can always just pre-split
Yeah.
like Pasha was doing in the previous game. I think it's like maybe like 60-40 in terms of like how much I favor Vici's lineup.
Fade. Just gonna Ether Shot, couldn't actually get there in time for a good Shackles.
Yeah, because you have to consider all the factors. For example, how easy it is to take objectives. And I think that Liquid can take objectives very easily with little to no risk.
Yeah.
Because they have a Shaker to disengage, and they've got Troll that can always pop his ulti. Plus they have a Viper that can just sit in front, and nobody on Vici's lineup, I think, really wants to fight up against this Viper. So I could see Liquid just pushing down towers like that and taking fights. Conversely, I could very easily see both of them taking Roshan because of the Shaman wards. As Matumba Man,
he's not going to leave you alone. They need a TP in here to be able to save Matumba Man because Fade hits so hard. They are going to be able to get the Hex and with the help of the Mistcoil.
This is great, though.
Has got to get out. He's forced many rotations, and his haste rune will last just long enough. So he takes very little damage on his way out.
He's forced both supports down here. Matumba Man's jungling. This bottom lane is completely free for the Monkey King. There's literally no one down here. Not this type of laning phase start that they want, although Yang getting quite low, but no real backup on the side of Liquid to finish this off. And the laning phase, I think, is going to be a little bit rough for them as a result
Yeah.
of how this is all shaken up.
And it sounds like to me, and especially with the way Liquid did defensively rotate to help him out, that this Viper's game is going to be super important. If you're talking about the team fight being the most important thing, Miracle's going to be caught here by 3 heroes. He tries to go for the bounty rune, but he does have the miss coil. He also applies the miss percentage chance on all of these heroes thanks to the whirling axes. And will be just fine even if he doesn't get the bounties.
It is a very good troll game, though. Once he gets BKB, it's going to be hard for them to contest him. So that's why although I do favor Vici, it's not so much so that, like last game I felt was really hard for VP.
The Doom, he takes so much damage, and Paparazi, thanks to that mobility of being able to go for the tree dance, is able to kill the Doom. He couldn't even get the Devour on the Siege Wagon. They managed to stop him just in time. That's a good way to be able to stop all that creep cutting. Hell, Mind Control even blew a scan just to try and see if he could find a way to be able to pull that wave.
Yeah.
To a safe position.
I mean, the early game scans don't really... It's not like anyone's using it unless there's some sort of mid-tower assault coming in, and you want to make sure that nobody's hiding in the sidelines. But so far, so good. I think Liquid is, despite having to jungle, they've got really good heroes at jungling. That is the upside for their team, that even though 2 heroes were forced to jungle and just completely leave the laning phase, they're like the 2 best heroes that could possibly do it, right?
Yeah.
You've got Doom that's got Devoured, you have Viper, that with Nether Toxin farms up very quickly.
That's why Fade is spending so much of his time not in lane, but in the enemy jungle, just trying to disrupt anybody. A great Fisher
Nice
block
Fisher.
from GH. Miracle is going to be able to get on top of DY and ensure the kill.
And I think Liquid is very correctly prioritizing this Troll, because like I said, I think Troll with BKB in this game, he's going to be the reason why they win or lose. As Mind Control going to get gone on, they don't want to...
Oh, mass rotations. They are going to be able to go for the ensnare here, trying to set up for the Fisher block, but that's why Paparazi blows his Wukong's command just to be able to make sure that Liquid cannot chase down the support, but Viper's going to be able to come in from the side here, gets the Viper strike, not quite enough to be able to finish off Fade by itself.
He has no
does
levels.
walk it off.
He has no levels of his poison attack, so after the ulti wears off, absolutely no way to chase that Shaman. So it's more just like a general nuke.
Yeah.
Mind Control.
And it should get the Jingu stacks up to 4. It's a big hit, but GH is going to be able to provide a lot of disable, and they
need to
do
kite
have a
him
lot
here.
of extra save as well. Mind Control is going to be fine. It's going to be Paparazi who tries to get the tree dance. He needs to be able to hide a little bit, but they just keep on finding him. Not going to let him jump into the trees here. Paparazi overextends himself at the bottom lane.
Very surprised that he decided to go for that, considering he knows that both supports TP down there, and there's no easy way for them to get back up to Miracle.
Oh, look at this big
Pro stack.
Ori comes over, gonna take most of it, but they can't actually kill Yang here, which looks like it's gonna be easy for them to do so. It's not a bad exchange for Liquid whatsoever.
Yeah, Matumba Man was coming over to clear the stack himself. And both supports. It's surprising that they're getting kills with Abaddon Earthshaker.
Yeah.
Considering neither of them really deal that much damage.
Those are super defensive supports.
Yes, especially in this type of game, but good rotations overall by Liquid. Weird commitment from Vici. They've got to be a little bit more careful about that.
Now, Viper's always going to have a good game because he's a Viper who jungles. You say they're prioritizing the Troll. This does mean that MindControl's having the roughest game of the 3 cores. But even him, as a Doom, can still cobble together some sort of game. He just picks up level 5.
The best part about Doom in this game, I think, is you'll recover once you have Doom up.
Yeah.
And Miracle is actually doing very well for himself, considering Liquid being rewarded right now for their faith is he's got the highest net worth in the game. Even against the Dusa, where it feels like she's farmed up a lot of those stacks. She had that free mid lane where gonna go onto this.
GH in trouble here. Fisher needs to make sure that Yang can actually get the clap, but because of the glimpse, there's no way for GH to be able to disengage from this. He starts to run up, but eventually will be found. Paparazi's going to join him here in the mid lane, but that does leave Fade alone here at the bottom. Who's going to be snared up by the net. MindControl will run him down eventually, unless Fade can do some mega juking.
Look at this, though. This mid movement is often what Liquid likes to do. And I'd be really surprised if Liquid gave this up for free.
Miracle not even going for the 10-minute bounties, just starts heading towards that mid lane. The tower will survive ever so barely, but now Miracle's going to try and get sandwiched, but the Primal Split going down. They're just going to disable him, and all of Vici Gaming can run over. Liquid is on their way, but it's going to be a little bit late. Miracle still has his ultimate, though. If he wants to be able to pop it the last second, he does manage to get it off, but he's inside the Wukong's command, and he's just getting kited up. Meanwhile, they're going to throw the Abaddon up in the air to make sure he can't save the Troll, and now toss back down. He's going to be able to provide the Aphotic Shield to Matamba Man, but KuroKy's already taken so much damage. The Fisher actually blocks him in. Bru's a little bit scared, though. He's going to TP out, leave the kill up to the Monkey King, who's going to be able to catch the Viper.
This is a wipe.
Back the Earthshaker as well. Vici Gaming, such cool movement out of all of that. Pressuring the mid and then sandwiching onto Miracle. Just beautiful stuff.
It comes down to Paparazi's position. He stayed in the tree line the entire time, waited up there, and it eventually does pay off when his Brewmaster finds the kill. I really like Miracle, the idea behind it, because he just comes down and he's like, I'm not even going to wait for the bounty runes. What's most important in this game is saving this mid tower, as Kuro does get the deny, but it's the strategical disadvantage of losing your mid tower against a Dusa. Because now it's not safe to even farm your own Ancients, and what'll end up happening is they'll place more and more aggressive wards at your Ancients, and they'll try to take away that triangle of farm. And so for Liquid, it's very important now that they don't lose both of the outer tier 1s. They're most likely losing this top one in exchange for the bottom tier 1 tower, which I think is a fine trade because Liquid might even be able to make it back up here in time. They know there's no Brew split and they're about to hit 6 on Doom. Unfortunately, he has got no mana.
Yeah, if they could somehow find a solution to that, they could mass rotate back up to that top lane and save their tier 1.
Yeah, but with the Shaman wards expended, I think this is going to be guaranteed towers. Paparazzi eats the tree to make sure that no one can do that sneaky TP up there.
So instead, Liquid are going to head to mid. Top is not a lane they can defend, but maybe they can even out the game by being able to set up on this mid lane. But there is going to be the glyph, and Vici Gaming, this time it's going to be their turn to rotate in and defend. But they really need to make sure that Yang stays alive here, and he does manage to get out of that static storm. The glimpse back. GH is put in that silence once again. Yang going to be slowed down after hit after hit. MindControl tries to chase him down, but he's too damn tanky.
Yeah, and with this, though, really what you're trying to do is buy time for the Dusa to get here and frontline for you. And Vici does. I mean, no tier 1 team wants to ever give up that mid tower for free. They understand what it means. You give up this triangle of farm yourself.
Yeah.
Because now Liquid can make these smoke plays into your jungle, and it's very hard to punish them if Glyph isn't up, or if your Shrine isn't up on the left side. So keeping the mid tower alive is the easiest thing to do, even if it costs you some heroes. Which for Liquid, the biggest disaster was when they lost 4 heroes and the tower on top of that.
Yeah. Surprisingly, it didn't actually put Vici Gaming that much ahead in net worth, only up by 1K.
And I think that comes down to the traded tower and the heroes that Liquid have, right?
Yeah,
MindControl will always have Devour, which just is your own mini Hanamitis.
Yang surrounded here, tries to go for the Primal Split. He does actually get it off. GH missing the Fisher there, and now maybe throwing away his life here as he's going to be glimpsed back. surrounded by heroes. Vici Gaming, a very heavy rotation, but does at least shut down GH's game. And, oh, maybe they can actually get a little bit more. No, that tornado's not going to last long.
I'm even surprised that he was able to track him down.
Yeah.
Or with the Brewmaster.
7-4, 2,000 net worth lead for Vici Gaming. You said Liquid going to be playing for their team fight. I'm presuming a lot of that's going to come down to Matumba Man having his mech.
Yeah, and the BKB that will eventually come for Miracle as his like second or third item.
It's a huge difference though between the Medusa, who's able to farm up Ancients, is at 7,500 net worth. Meanwhile, the Viper at just 5K. This is the problem with Medusa right now. It just seems like she farms so quickly. She gets into those first two items and actually becomes a viable threat nice and early.
It's just a really hard matchup for Viper too, because one Medusa Snake gets rid of all your mana, and you don't have a big pool to begin with to use your corrosive.
Mind control. Gonna get got here as they do get the Jingu stacks up. Very surprised they threw it on the Serpent Wards, but I guess they were afraid of Kuro coming in, providing the Aphotic Shield. They do glimpse him back up to the top lane though.
They'll take the tower with this anyways, but Liquid, this is a really good trade by them.
Yeah.
Take the mid tower if you can, but Vici, with the successful scan, they know that this is happening. Yang doesn't have the ulti, but with the Deuce up in here in front,
and even though they don't have the Monkey King, it looks like Vici Gaming could defend, but they can't afford to lose so many of these heroes. The Static Storm does manage to go down. Kuro does have the borrowed time. Miracle managed to get out of that silence, and now the Wukong's command goes down. Managed to get this stun out onto Miracle. He's finally going to pop that ultimate, turning and going onto Yang. It looks like Yang is probably going to die here. Miracle's actually healed up so much. At about half
looking for it.
GH does manage to hit the Echo Slam there. Monkey King just dodges a lot of that damage by being able to turn into the tree, and will pop back now as his Viper sees him low. Is going to be able to get that kill. Matumba Man, oh, mind control. Tries to go out for the Doom. Not going to be able to get it off now, and now he's left in 1 versus 5 scenario. He throws out the Doom, yes, but surely you knew that wasn't going to result in a kill. All of Vici Gaming survive, and they wipe Liquid.
that was the buyback from Yang, but he'll survive no problem. That was well worth his time.
Absolutely.
They clean house right there as Liquid. They lose another fight, and this is the difference, let me say, between having a mid tower and not having a mid tower. It's just the awkward angle that you have to engage at, and you have to just hope there's no Shrine up if you do take that fight. Whereas if Vici want to make the same move down towards the south side of the map on Liquid's camp, that triangle, it's a lot harder for Liquid to defend. It's just not as natural of a movement. You don't want to be there with multiple heroes. Vici feel like they can still protect that ancient camp, so they'll always be around there with at least some heroes, which is why Ori was in perfect position.
Yeah. Power of having that Medusa, being able to defend that mid tower.
And this is just a rough position for Liquid to be in when they last picked Dusa against the Viper mid. As
Primal
Miracle
split outside of vision to be able to catch Miracle here. They can get multiple disables and just slowly whittle them down, but Liquid do have enough time to be able to mass rotate in. Kuro's going to be here first, trying to get some sort of save, some sort of aphotic shield. They need to be able to buy a little bit of time for Miracle to pop off his ultimate. He pops at the last second, is able to go for a fade here, but Ori's already marched forward onto Matumba Man, gets him as well as GH, and eventually Miracle's going to run out of time here as he hopes to get many bashes onto Paparazi, but couldn't even kill DY. Only fade falls here for Vici Gaming. Triple kill for Ori. And potentially a tier 1 tower. This is turning into quite the snowball fest for Vici Gaming.
Yeah. You do see right there, though, how good the Troll ult can potentially look. It's just that Vici, without the BKB on the Troll, without the SNY, it's very easy for them to just kite him. And that was with the very good fissure from the Earthshaker, but Vici, I mean, they're protecting everything at this point. They're not ditching their supports. Paparazzi's doing a very good job with this Monkey King of being elusive, never letting himself get gone on.
And Yang's doing a great job of controlling some of these heroes, you know, throwing up the tornado onto the Batten. Multiple fights to make sure he can't stop these disables from Vici Gaming. And we're about to get a very big upgrade if Paparazzi can complete his Maelstrom.
Just more farming potential. Good team fight for very low cost, too.
Yeah. Same goes for the Vlads now for Yang. A massive upgrade in such a stat-heavy hero like the Medusa.
He is hurting in individual net worth right now because, I mean, he had a buyback, but as the stats show, highest amount of assists at this time, so obviously worth it.
Yeah. Like, he may
Paparazi.
not have the guaranteed farm. Paparazi's going to be able to reveal, immediately tries to jump away. Thinking about the Wukong's command because he knows he's in a bad
doomed.
situation, but he's been doomed up. They're going to throw out the Static Storm. The Glimpse back onto GH, just trying to give this Monkey King time, but he does manage to get off that Jingu stack, but he can't get the swings in. They control him up pretty nicely. A big pick off on Paparazi, who had a kill streak as well. Unfortunately, that kill goal did go to Kuro.
Gold is gold at this point.
That's true.
But just an awkward engage from Paparazi. Not really entirely sure what the plan was.
No, I have no idea. At this point, like, when you're ahead, Vici Gaming, shouldn't they just be playing 5-man nonstop?
I think they're just afraid of giving up too much on the map because Matamba Man knows that and he's splitting it.
Yeah.
But I guess you're not that afraid of a Viper.
And
doing this to you.
they do have really good ways to catch these splitting heroes. Is Yang, there's the glimpse. That's what I'm talking about right there. That long-range disable, that long-range catch. It's going to be tough for people like Matamba Man to be able to just barrel down lanes without dying.
Playing against a Disruptor when you're behind just looks like this. Anybody that tries to split push is going to get punished as a result. And this support duo from Vici, they're the real all-stars for me. Fade and DY, it feels like they've been in everything.
Very great performances by them.
And
It
you've
seems
got
like that's
one
one
death.
of the key.
You have one death on a hero that has a magic wand.
Yeah. You could see the Vision game being controlled pretty well by Vici Gaming, I would say. Liquid forced to do a lot of defensive vision at this point. 16-7. 6,000 net worth lead as the 20-minute bounty runes are about to spawn. Vici Gaming just taking the right side of the map, willing to split this 2 for 2.
It feels like they're the... Some teams just don't care about it at all. Like Keen.
Yeah,
Keen's like allergic to bounty runes.
but it seems like this series and last,
Oh,
teams
it's been
putting
very
a
even.
Very large emphasis on bounties. Blink Dagger for GH, that could definitely turn the game around for Liquid. And a Butterfly for Ori, well, that just makes things look a lot worse.
That is an item.
That is a huge item, especially with the Diffusal Blade on that Troll. Now won't have to worry about the attacks from the Troll nearly as much.
That is a fantastic pickup.
And I feel like if she gets the BKB, I don't... Like, Liquid's going to have to play, again, one of those games, just like we saw with the last Medusa, where they just ignore her and go for everybody else.
It just doesn't feel fun to doom BKB targets.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you take them out of the fight so she can't use her Mystic Snake, but outside of that, does she really care? Probably not. And probably going to be a Crimson Guard out of Mind Control as he just wants to get tankier. I think his assumption is if they can outlast in the team fights and get into a position where you can 1v5 kite the Dusa, which is how you're going to beat Dusa in Dusa games. Like, unless you completely crush her early game, which almost nobody does because she has the ability to catch up with Ancients, similar to Dro Ranger.
And it's a great game for it too, right? You've got the Wukong's command as well as the split shot. A lot of instances of damage. That Crimson Guard can help protect against. Paparazi will go for the scouting here. They see Kuro. Will go for the disables. They have the glimpse at the last second. They can throw down after borrowed time. Bring Kuro back to his death. They're going to make sure to give the Jingu stacks to Paparazi, so we can have the extra damage for this tower push.
No chance to survive there
Now,
for Kuro. They might even go for Roshan after this. I think
like, I love how Vici Gaming go for these tower pushes, but simultaneously just move around the map so quickly. It's catching Liquid off guard, such as Mind Control here, much like Matamba Man last time. Tried to go for the split push, but such heavy rotations from Vici Gaming.
can't you go Rosh right now with Shaman Wards?
Yeah.
If you blew Monkey King ult for this, I think this might be the play, but in fact, they're just going towards bottom. Look at the
Look
speed
at
that they're
this,
setting.
Matamba Man. Oh, don't tell me.
1
Fade
second.
down. Oh, we got him. Fade successfully gets the Hex.
They are so quick.
Yes. Yes, they are. I mean, they just rotated, like, they just TP multiple heroes up to top lane, and they still have the TPs to go bottom as well.
Yeah, and that comes down to
Wow.
just Vici being so quick on the reactions. They're not even letting their towers get hit.
I mean, Liquid in that situation, they just assume, oh, they're going to take our tier 2, we're going to pressure the side lanes. But Vici Gaming say, no, we'll take this tier 2 a little bit later. First, we're going to kill your heroes.
And Yang I mean, that was so smart. He just pops his ulti immediately for the scouting mission.
Yeah.
What I love about Vici is they're not shy about using the ultis just to get catches on Liquid heroes. Just get more and more map control.
Seems like they're one of the teams that operates with an advantage really well.
Yeah.
Because they're so free with using their abilities, knowing the enemy team can't fight them.
Was it DAC where Yang was like the last pick as an all-star? I think so. We casted like when they were picking everybody, and I felt so bad for him because he's like, I just want to belong. Well, in this game, he definitely belongs.
Being able to accomplish so much with such little amount of net worth is impressive. And it's not even that little anymore. Now that they're winning the game, he's about to eclipse the Doom in net worth, which again, Doom has that inherent farming mechanism, so that's not going to feel good.
I mean, we're just not really seeing Liquid do anything on the map because I think they realize that 5-on-5 team fights are just not for them.
Yeah.
At this point, they just can't win them. So
how do they get back into the game? What's their timing?
the way they get back into the game is not giving up this Roshan. I think if you give up this Aegis to Ori, it becomes infinitely harder for you to win this game. If you take a fight around this Roshan and it's successful and you get the Aegis yourself, this is your biggest power spike. Miracle has a BKB. If you can't win this team fight now, you're going to have to wait another 10 minutes to win the team fight.
Team Liquid, do or die, must be able to win this engagement. They're going to go and find Fade first, but oh no, he gets bursted down so quickly. GH is already gone, so they trade support for support. Matumban is going to be buying some time here in the front line, forcing Vici Gaming back. Now, Roshan is still very low, so Liquid do still need to get inside that pit.
They're careful, though, because GH does have Echo. They don't want to let it get so low, though, to the wards.
Yeah, they need to be able to get a little bit of vision here to make sure they know. There's the Echo Slam onto 2. A great initiation. Now the follow-up Miracle. Pops the BKB with the Doom on the Medusa. They can actually take her down.
Oh, this is sick.
Does fall. Look at the Wukong's command, though. Paparazzi focusing on the objective, trying to finish up Roche on the disables.
Who gets it?
He does manage to get the Aegis. Now, the question is whether or not he can get away with the second life, because the first life is already gone. But Ori with a buyback comes in, already stoned up 2. Look at that setup from him. GH trying to help out with the Fisher as well. Paparazzi will be able to follow this up with a nice stun. Doom, as well as the Troll, are dead. Now they're going to be able to catch and bring him back in with a glimpse. That's going to be the Abaddon down. Liquid will lose the second part of the fight.
And Ori, he's going to tell his team, march down mid right now.
Yes.
We force buybacks for this. I use buyback for this. The gold differential that they gained from getting that Aegis was just a salve. It just sort of saved the game for themselves because Liquid, with that beautiful fight, they were able to isolate the Medusa so quickly. They need to be able to force buybacks or at least get this tower to make this trade worth it.
Such a great stone gaze there, and really well played by Paparazzi, realizing he could just go into the pit, get that Aegis. That
they got to back out now.
The fight as well.
Not bad at all from Liquid, though.
No.
That was the best case scenario. They forced the buyback. They immediately popped the Aegis. They didn't lose racks. They didn't have to buy back themselves. That's how they can potentially win these fights. Get on top of the Dusa, make it hard for her to disengage. And that was just a really awkward fight for Vici to take because you saw Paparazzi was really loath to just give up on that Roche area.
Yeah.
So you had him still hitting the Roshan with the Shaman wards, and you had Ori on the other side trying to one-on-5 fight.
Which is possible. Like, he could stall in that engagement, but that's where the Doom comes in. They know that Stone Gaze is all important.
Just really well done by Liquid. They just trapped him in one of those do-or-die positions.
Yeah.
Either you give us Aegis because we have a troll and we'll take it in 2 seconds, or you take this 50-50 split fight.
That does buy Liquid a bit back into the game. They don't have to worry about the Aegis. The net worth is not spiraled out of control. Vici Gaming is still up, though, by about 3K.
Yeah, Liquid still definitely have a win condition now that the Dusa has used her buyback. I'd still say the game's like 80-20. And once the Dusa gets her next item, it's going to be very favored. But Liquid's doing a good job of making sure that it doesn't just snowball. Because I could have easily seen this game go like 90-10 real quick.
Yeah. Seems like they may have to wait out an MKB for the Troll. That would certainly help a lot.
Both teams are really good at once they've won the fight, being able to chase up.
Yeah.
They have a Troll with a Diffusal. They have Doom, they've got Earthshaker with this Fissure. They can follow up fights. And the scary thing for both lineups is that if you're beginning to lose the fight, you're not getting out. And that's what we see every single time is when Liquid begins to lose the fight, they don't just lose one hero, they lose multiple heroes. But the same can be said the other way around.
Find the initiation on the event, but
Oh,
they're going
nice
to turn. The
echo.
Echo Sam goes out. They haven't actually finished up Fade in the back line. Zenyatt's actually going to be able to get away because the Wukong command has gone out. Miracles popped his ultimate. He's
Oh,
just
he's
fighting, but
stunned
he's
up.
just going to get controlled up too much. The Disruptor doing so much work, being able to get that kinetic field, keeping the Doom inside of the Wukong's command, and also making sure that Kuro doesn't get away. They have the Thunder Strike, keeping the vision on side of the Doom. That's where the Shadow Shaman is able to find that Shackles. Looks like not even Matama Man's going to be able to get away, as Yang expertly controls his Storm Panda to find the +1. As you said, once you get broken in a fight, you're going to lose multiple heroes because you just cannot get away.
And they all in committed to try to pop him before he got his BKB off, but GH was assuming that the Doom would get off in time.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to do so. They weren't able to connect quite quick enough, and Ori, with that ulti over the top, just destroyed that troll.
Crimson Guard trying to slow down this push. There is tier 2 still live, so it's not like Vici Gaming are going to be able to go for 2 here.
I could see that Echo being worth it if they got the Doom off onto the Monkey King. Then they just get the Monkey out of the way. They can get on top of the other heroes because aside from the Dusa, they're not all that tanky.
Yeah. I really feel what you're saying, though, about like being too many Doom targets. If you stop the Wukong's command, there's still going to be the Stone Gaze and vice versa.
It's just awkward for mind control.
Yeah.
Because you could make a realistic case at this point for even using it at the Shaman.
Yeah, considering how well Fade has been able to control up these heroes from distance.
And Yang continues to have this sneakily good game. Not a ton of net worth, but his ulti usage has been more or less flawless.
Yeah, super top tier. He's going to try and get a Crimson Guard of his own. As long as they're just tanky enough and he gets off that Primal Split. Seems Liquid not really capable of winning an engagement, as they're going to find the pick off here in Mind Control every single time. Fade's just going to ensure it. Throw down the Serpent Wards. There's a Fissure that comes out, trying to stall things a little bit, but that's why you throw down those Serpent Wards, just to make sure if there's heroes behind the Doom, that you still can get the kill.
We see, again, no hesitation at all. You see a hero, pop your ulti, who cares?
Yeah.
I think a lot of players are very reluctant to use these ults because they're dreaming of these scenarios in which they'll be really useful. Like, what if we win a fight and then I can drop the Shaman Wards? They must have gotten like 5-6 kills now because of the fact that they just pop them whenever they get the opportunity to. It ends the fight for Liquid all of a sudden.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
The game getting more and more dire for Team Liquid as 28-10, 11,000 net worth lead. Vici Gaming feeling good about this right now. Go for the two-man smoke. If they get one pick off with the Doom already dead, we could see another high ground push here in this top lane. Just gonna stay behind Ori. He's not gonna breach that high ground though. They can just back up and finish off the shrine that's still there.
And curiously, he's not opting to go for the Lincolns versus the Doom.
Dire's top
I guess there's multiple ways to remove.
Dire's top
I figured he'd go for that or the Scotty.
Yeah,
But just
I
gonna
definitely
rely-
expected Scotty.
Yeah, just gonna rely on his talents, I guess.
Yeah, and with the MKB, I mean, there's the mischance of the troll,
Dire
those whirling axes, that's kind of a problem. Five-man smoke up, Liquid. Call this the desperation smoke blitz. Down by 11K, so many great items on Vici Gaming.
They know
that
they're
Liquid.
smoked.
The only way they can win this is being able to find just the perfect initiation, but as you're saying, Vici Gaming very clearly knows about the smoke. Nobody's showing on the map, and they're just playing on the high ground with Paparazi in the trees, waiting to break that smoke.
It's 33 minutes in and they still have their mid tower. There's too much map control at this point.
Yeah.
But Liquid, they can still win this fight. They need this one though. You're right, this is a desperation smoke. They know they're staring at each other.
You're gonna
As
finish off
Miracle,
this
he's just
tier
going
1
for it.
tower. They are going to be able to get the Viper Strike out onto the Disruptor. The hard part is it's going to be, they can't really disengage that easily because of the glimpse. The possibilities there. Fortunately, Matumbaman was able to force the Disruptor far enough back, but that's why DY TP's onto the Shrine, and that's going to be your glimpse. They need to be able to save out this Hex. Hey, pop the Primal Split. Now they're going to be able to go to the back line. Target immediately tries to take out the Abaddon and stun up some of the rest of these heroes, but Liquid are retreating pretty well for themselves. They're still the borrow time onto Kuro, but it looks like Liquid is just going to leave him behind as they have to Shrine up right now. There is going to be the Tornado out from Yang. They're going to make sure there's going to be an opportunity for more of a fight if they want it. But no, they don't. The Primal Split's going to wear out, and no sense in going into the high ground.
And Miracle just kind of TP'd out? No, it was GH that TP'd out. Miracle reset with the rest of his team, didn't have to pop his BKB. So not the worst situation at all for Liquid. That's probably an ideal trade. They finally take down that mid tower, so they don't always have to just smoke to make that move in, and they don't always have to ward there. Now they can just focus their efforts on the Roshan pit as Miracle dips his head in just to see. And Mind Control, I guess the upside is that he didn't use Doom, but he's going to have to find a target soon and just kind of consistently stick with it.
Liquid very clearly want to take a fight here. No Primal Split, no Wukong's command either. They can get the pick off on DY. That'll make it a 4 versus 4 as well. They do have the Viper Strike onto this Brewmaster who doesn't have a save, but into the back line. They've already been controlled up. This Troll is just going to fall like that. What a beautiful setup from Fade, being able to get the shackles on the high ground. And now with the Troll gone, feeling comfortable, or maybe not. They actually don't chase down the Viper. Vici Gaming is good with the game as long as they don't overextend themselves into a potential buyback, but Miracle doesn't even have it.
Just awkward engagement after awkward engagement because you see the frustration from Mind Control. He knows that Yang doesn't have his ulti, so he doesn't really want to doom him.
Yep.
He can't get to the back line of the Dusa. He has to walk through too many heroes. Paparazi's already blown his full load. They're making it really hard for Mind Control to play this game. They're being so smart about how they just frustrate him. They throw bodies at him.
Where they position themselves for these team fights, just beautiful.
Yeah.
Like the speed at which they played this game and going for the pickoffs has made a lot for Vici Gaming. And then on top of that, it just seems like when Liquid have an advantage, they can't actually get the good engagement. Just always being able to set up on a high ground situation.
You see the Mind Control holds his Doom every single time because he's worried it's going to be useless. Yeah. Whereas Vici, they're so far ahead that they're just like, we'll blow it every single time we can grab a kill on anybody.
Aegis, Cheese, both going the way of Vici Gaming now.
He has to drop it at some point, though. They've lost too many fights for him not to use it. This is now 3 fights where we haven't seen the Doom get expended, and I know his life is hard, but at this point, just use it on support. Get somebody out of the engagement.
Almost a full Scotty here for the Monkey King if he wants to abandon his buyback. But it may not be necessary to win this fight, as the extra life on Ori is going to look pretty good. Team Liquid, I don't know how they're going to be able to put together some sort of defense.
They need a big echo, and if they can doom somebody, the Dusa or the Monkey King before they get their spells off, would be how they do it.
Big stat upgrade in this Scotty, as well as an increased amount of power in that Wukong's command. I mean, between Ori being able to sit in the front lines and Wukong's command that Liquid cannot fight into.
I think you just go high ground with this DD Dusa.
Oh, yeah.
Force Liquid to get past you again.
Yang trying to find the initiation here. Glimpse back onto Miracle. They don't want to blow any sort of BKB or anything like that. They do have the Aphonic Shield to remove the Hex, so Liquid will be okay here. Vici Gaming poked at them, prodded them, tried to get some spells out, but nothing major was used.
They're going to connect to top, though. They use the DD or anticipation of the fight. They want to take advantage of this. They might not get better opportunities. 3 minutes on their Aegis, plus a DD Dusa. He's going to walk uphill.
It's going to be Fisher block, and it's going to be his first life. The Primal Split's going to be used. Trying to find the disables. He's going to try and throw Kuro up into the air to be able to defend against this Aphonic Shield as best as possible. Paparazi, such a beautiful Wukong's command, getting up the Jingu stacks. Miracle's trying to make his way out of all those stone statues, but unfortunately the Doom has been Serpent warded. He's going to be left behind and does not have a buyback. Team Liquid, buyback on their Earthshaker here. As soon as the Primal Split is down and there's no Wukong's command, it's possible that they can win an engagement here, defend this top lane, but it's going to be tough. Trying to burn away. They do have the Force Staff on Yang. Allows him to be able to disengage, and Vici Gaming are getting out pretty cleanly here. They do even manage to get the range racks thanks to the Serpent Wards.
And the buyback expended. They kill the Doom. They get 1 Rax out of it. I think they'll be perfectly happy with that.
No, I never see Vici Gaming get too excited and continue to force things. They've just been so patient and disciplined with the way they take fights, get one objective, and back out.
I think it's because they have a lot of respect for Liquid. I think they have a lot of respect for Liquid. It's that idea that if you lose a fight, Liquid will take everything.
Yeah.
And they have Troll on their team. So it really just takes one fight, as we saw in the previous series too. So they're giving them like this wide berth. They're making absolute sure that they've secured this game for themselves.
We've already seen Liquid make one very huge comeback against Pain Gaming. Which, when I asked
97.
GH about it, he said they weren't even worried for that game. But I'm pretty sure he's not having the same kind of optimistic thoughts about this one.
Pain.
This is looking like this is pretty much in the bag for Vici Gaming, barring some sort of terrible misfortune. Trying to push into the high ground once again, as they still even have the cheese on the Monkey King. They've got the level 25 Medusa now, who has a Satanic. Did not have that for the last fight. Tamaman wants to buy Shivas. Also wants to keep his buyback.
Uncharacteristically low kill game for Liquid.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen them make plays. It's almost 40 minutes. We've got 11 kills for them. It's easy to talk about Vici because they just keep going around the map nonstop, catching them while they try to split push. Whereas Liquid is just playing in survival mode right now.
And it's felt like they played that way for the first 10 minutes. Kinetic Field's gonna go out. BKB immediately goes down. Primal Split is activated. Throws the Viper up in the air and is gonna focus on Kuro until the borrowed time goes off. So now they move on to another target. Matumban is gonna be controlled up with a nice glimpse from Miracle with his BKB wearing out. He is gonna get gone on and finished off. He immediately is forced to buy back here. Once again, Vici Gaming have used all their big team fight spells. And with the threat of the buyback being used, they just back up once again, knowing that Liquid really do not have the ways to chase.
Doom's about to fall.
Look at Monkey King, he's staring himself. He's got the Doom about to wear on. He still has the cheese. The Echo Slam goes down to the back line, trying to control these heroes, but there's no damage to be able to follow it up. Miracle is trying to go for Yang, but another great force staff, and now he's being controlled up with the BKB not being there. He's so easily disabled, but will be able to get some damage out until finally he does fall. All of Vici Gaming standing about half or 100% HP as they wipe out more and more Liquid members, leaving Matama Man for last year. GH does manage to go in and finish off the Shadow Shaman, but Matama Man is eventually going to fall here, and GH has no way out, so that is going to be it. Team Liquid will call it here. GG, Vici Gaming, 1-up on Liquid in this series.
This was an oppressive game one. Like, it